Hi, Tari.
Hey Claire, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. How has it been going and what's on the streets?
I can't complain. Word on the street. Forehead grows. Rihanna is she's going broke. enjoy enjoy nini kuseka a billionaire ukuthi she's going broke. So e, she's lost 400 million from her money, 400 million USD to 1 billion. But that's not the only thing that's worrying. What's worrying is in 2023, she was worth 1.7 billion. Then last year, she was worth 1.4. And then this year, it's 1 billion. So, in as much as she's still a billionaire, yeah, our worry is, girl, it's going down
It's going down.
rapidly. In
And
that's
for me,
almost half the net worth.
hmm. And for me, what I'm wondering, like, what is causing a network to go down? Is it because she left the music industry, or
I think so actually, because musicians are still making money from the YouTubes, from the Spotify's and things like that. If she's not channeling new money, we're not really new music, we're not really listening to her, are we? And her beauty line, I cannot afford. Fendi
no?
is not for the faint.
We are not the target market. The
We are
target
not the
market is
target market. So that's a bit worrying as well, because her fans, we cannot really afford it. So in that novelty sort of like wears off. The younger generation, consumerism wise, is whatever is trending. If they don't
Mhm.
know Rihanna, they are not spending on Rihanna's products.
Yes, yes.
That's as simple as that.
And,
So,
and
so
if you think about it, what was making it famous was the music. That's why people maybe ended up buying the
it was
product
the
the first
music.
time when she launched the product because we knew who was Rihanna, we knew her song. Like even me today, I still enjoy your umbrella that song. Yeah, I can't sing, but that song is one of my favorite songs.
You see, so you might not buy Fenty, but you will still listen to her music. And if she channeled new music, you would still listen to her. So I feel like she's shortchanging herself in that way. I don't know. Who knows what's really happening, honestly speaking. But apparently, Abby is not employed.
Isn't he a singer? Isn't he a singer? The streets sometimes.
Sing one song. Sing ASAP song. One song, Yaroki, please. What song?
So are we saying maybe she's suffocating here?
I'm not
The money's been suffocated because of the lifestyle as well.
I'm not sure. If I'm being honest, I'm not sure.
So
Uh,
for me, with my thinking, I think maybe music was a like a bigger cash cow. It was more like the one which
yes,
was bringing in the money, making a name go out there. So I think maybe she needs to go back to music and having those tones
yes.
because
Yeah, I
that
think
downward spiral is not looking good.
no. I think she downplays the role of music in her income. So I think she definitely needs that money coming in. Um, Beyonce is still dancing. Beyonce is married to a billionaire, and she's worth half a billion herself.
And she's still making money.
And
Like
she's
your
and
network is not
she
going down.
and she's still shaking it on the dance floor every year, sold
Mm.
out tours. So, I don't think the hustle or the grind should end. I don't think the hustle or the grind should end just because you've met the billion
You have
mark.
met the name or if you have arrived. I think it's a lesson to all of us. Like hey Clay, when we get there, we shouldn't forget the thin lit pasties. Because that's what led us to be where we are today.
Definitely. And one thing that worries me is the rate at which she's losing her wealth. The first year she lost it was 300,000, and then this year it's
What
400,000. No, 300 million, and then it's 400 million. And then
billion?
if she continues with the same trajectory, it means next year she might be losing half a billion.
Half a million net worth. Yeah, it's very
So
worrying though.
that
It's
is
really worrying.
very, very worrying. And
Mm.
the younger generation are not really big on luxury. And not just that, recently that the Trump
Mm.
fighting with China and things like that. That really
Now,
seems,
boy Trump, his
yeesh.
drama never ends. Now with
Yeah.
Elon,
So
let's see what's gonna shape up there.
a lot of luxury brands took a hit then, and Fenty has a huge collaboration with most of those luxury brands. Actually, I think
The Louis Vuitton.
the Louis Vuittons. She's actually, I think there's some ownership or some partnership with the Louis Vuitton brand and things like that, the LV, whatever. So that has an impact. And if the generation is becoming money savvy, if the generation is not going to spend, luxury is not supposed to be, is not going to be your thing.
And you are teaching them to save. So what can they do?
Yeah, our customers are not buying Fenty. Sorry.
They are not buying fancy shame. I feel sorry for our girl there, but I think she needs to go back to music.
Whilst we
She
are there, did you watch Keeping Up with
Mhm.
the Kardashians back in the day? I think they're still there, but we're not
Okay.
keeping up
You
with
know
them.
me, I'm not into like those type of that type of drama kind of.
So Chloe, the one who was fat back in the day,
Mm.
that one. So she was married to a guy, Lamar Odom, and Lamar was an NBA
I saw the
player.
story of that guy. The
Yes,
athlete.
yes. So what worries me about Lamar is the house that he was evicted from, that he's being evicted from. He's been in that house for about 6 months. He hasn't been paying rentals
Only
for
six
three
months.
months, and the rental is just 15,000 USD. I am putting it at just 15,000 USD
Well, it's
because at
nothing for
some
them.
point he used to earn about 114 million during his NBA career. And uh, also, when he was a reality star, I'm sure there's still some royalties that are coming in because when he was a reality star, he used to get paid. Because I think Chloe and Lama had their own show as well that used to follow
Is
them
it?
around. And Chloe and Laurel take LA or something like that, you know. So
Hmm.
by all means, he was not poor, and
No.
we are not expecting this from him. So someone did not advise him in December when he was looking for a house because this house that he's been evicted from it's just been 6 months. So someone didn't advise him well. He didn't really act his wage.
No, he didn't act his way.
He's not. He has no money coming in, but he's getting into a house that he cannot afford. I don't know, Tari.
But
What's that about, really?
also the thing is though, like, hey, people will live for people, hey. Like if I used to live in these luxurious suburbs and all that, I'm from Zimne, so I'll give example. Like if I used to live in Borodale, then now I can see like, hey, the money is not money. Then I go back to ghetto.
The money is not
If
money.
people
The
still back in ghetto, Mara, what will you say? That's the thing. We live for the people,
ah,
and we don't really like get to back to just do our cash flow planning to see, hey, things are not looking good. With that 15,000, you could have stayed somewhere maybe where he was paying 1,000. That was gonna be like affording for the rest of the year to be able to pay rent instead of being a homeless guy after being like a millionaire, multi-millionaire or billionaire. I'm not sure what was the net worth back then.
and I'm sure billionaires are nothing new in his circle because Kanye West at some point was a billionaire, was he? I think, but he was a brother-in-law, so he's been around
Mm.
money, real proper money. So, oh gosh, I blame the drugs.
Is it the drugs?
I blame the drugs, Jim. What else? Like how else can you explain that fall from
So for me,
grace?
I think also with these guys, especially in these industries, because I feel like also like trying to keep up with the pressure, social media, and not sometimes these streets they are not so good to us. So I think these guys they also need like mental health coaches who just go
Mm.
like talking through things and all that. So I think there's a market for you, Clay. Like they really need mental health coaching. Obviously, they need financial coaches and financial advisors, but I think also talking about mental health part of it, it's really needed. Because imagine if someone who was like doing so well and end up falling into drugs. There's so much unspoken. We need to understand like what really happened.
Yeah, I think as a celebrity or as an high income earner, when you're thinking of who is going to be part of your team, most people think of who is going to handle their PR, their accountant who is going to handle their taxes so that they're not
Trouble.
in trouble with the taxman. They forget a mental health and well-being coach, mental health and well-being practitioner, a psychologist, someone for their mental health. They also forget a proper money coach. Yes, an accountant can come in, Tari, and make sure that you pay the things that you're
Yes,
supposed
but
to
you need
pay.
someone
You know,
who like,
you're
you know what?
legal. You're not
Money
doing
coach. I'm sorry,
anything
you told
illegal.
him like, hey, with the money you still have and you not earning money, I think a 15,000 rental is just like financial disaster.
Exactly. Actually, are you Jomo Sono's money coach? Ah, because I that one is doing well. That
Yeah,
one is
he's
doing
really
well,
doing
Shem.
well, and he actually inspires me. So, because sometimes I'm one of those people who be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, career in football, these people they misuse money and all that." But looking at Jomo Sono, he's one of the guys who I can say, like, I can give reference back to like to those young football players who want to make it in the career. Like, once you start making that money, don't spend everything, but go and invest in business. This guy is worth 600 million net worth. And I was just researching
Mm-hmm.
about him today. He's into hospitality, mining, tech, and retail, and he also owns most of KFC franchises here in South Africa. And he also has a soccer academy. He's a retired footballer, but he's actually doing so well. And for me, I think it's just an inspiration because we know, like, if you go back to Zim, Peter and Lovu, we ended up hearing stories that he was so broke and all that. But looking at Domo Sono, and I'm like, this is a different story, and we need to talk about it. Hmm,
It is a different
they-
story. There is hope.
and
There is hope that if you hire
yes,
us,
us, and you don't get into
get one of
and you
us
don't
to
get
work
into
on, yeah, when
lifestyle inflation. Well, here's the thing, cleaning. Actually, now we are earning thousands, 100,000, whatever, and you spend with that. If you get into the take of millions, billions, we also want to spend in millions and billions. So, what is this thing with this lifestyle inflation?
yeah.
Can't we just like have a normalized spending lifestyle and know that this money is for future generations, generational wealth?
And I think most of the times when you have that conversation with yourself, you end up losing.
Mm,
Yeah. You can justify why you're overspending. You can justify why the decisions you're making are the best. Have an expert on your team. Have someone talk to you. Have someone acknowledge your money
mm,
traumas. Have someone check you. Have someone advise you. And then if you fall, blame yourself and say, I should have
yes.
listened to Tari. Tari tried to have this conversation with me. I didn't listen. Um, if we go back to Lama, I'm sure at some point there was a choice to not
Mm,
use drugs, but the voice of reason might not have been there. Maybe it was the bad
mm,
friend who is relying on you for for their next fix, who is not going to say anything that is going to be meaningful in terms of you making a good
ye-
decision for yourself. But if you have the mental health and well-being practitioner or mental health and well-being coach within his team, that person's voice would have been in his head to say, once you go down that route, some drugs are so
you
addictive. If you
won't be able
try
to come
them
back.
once, you're gone. Yes. So mental health practitioners help you to find your to be like to intimately know your stress bucket, know the things that release your stress, know coping mechanisms that are not dangerous for you, that don't increase your stress. You want to chase adrenaline, go and jump off jump off a plane.
Like
If that's
like
your thing,
jumping.
if that's your thing, yeah, go and bungee jump if that's your thrill. And if you are scared of then bungee jumping, we now have sophisticated ways of getting the same thrill. Go and go to iFly and jump in a controlled place or something like that. But if you know what releases your stress, that is healthy, you can pursue that, and that helps you sort of like to make better decisions for yourself, Tari. And now it's 14 minutes and 30 seconds.
I
So
think we
we're
have
now
spoken enough
counting
for
down.
today.
Let
Let's
me
have
end
another
with
conversation next time. And guys, if you've been listening, lifestyle creep, it's not good for your money. Bye.